The family of Athena Strand, the little 7-year-old girl allegedly murdered by a contract FedEx driver, is suing FedEx and one of its subcontractors. Tanner Horner, the man suspected of kidnapping and killing Strand, delivered packages for FedEx Ground, but was not actually an employee of FedEx. Horner worked for a subcontractor named Big Topspin. Horner was arrested earlier this month on capital murder and aggravated kidnapping charges after he told police that he accidentally hit Athena with his delivery van while dropping a package off at her dad's home on November 30th. The lawsuit, filed by Strand's father, Jacob Strand, accuses FedEx and Big Topspin of gross negligence. The suit also accuses Horner of assault. Now, the suit asks for more than $1 million in damages. The lawsuit also says in part that FedEx has continued their normal business operations, although it's clear that their current efforts, if any, to ensure that they are not putting dangerous persons in a position of trust wearing FedEx uniforms, driving FedEx branded vehicles, and sending them to the doorsteps of the homes of nearly every person in America is woefully inadequate to avoid endangering the public. Now, Athena's mom spoke for the first time last week, where she talked about her daughter's memory and about FedEx.
And I'm the mommy of Athena Presley Monroe Strand. On November 30th, a FedEx delivery man drove onto Athena's father's property to deliver a package of what was supposed to be a Christmas present for our daughter. This is the package, and it's the first time I'm seeing it. The package is containing "You Can Be Anything" Barbies. Athena was robbed of the opportunity to grow up to be anything she wanted to be. And this present, ordered out of innocence and love, is one she will never receive. Athena's favorite holiday was Christmas, as it is for many children everywhere. The joy Athena gave her family and the joy she felt on Christmas is something we will never feel with her again. That delivery driver admitting to kidnapping and killing my innocent, free-spirited 7-year-old daughter on Friday, December 2nd. At the time of Athena's abduction, she was staying with her stepmother and father in Paradise, Texas, doing what kids do, playing within the bounds of her father's property on the same land he grew up and played on, the same land that for 20 or more years he, his siblings, and all of his friends had been safe. I was supposed to bring Athena back home to Oklahoma after Christmas break. Now instead, Athena will be cremated, and she will come home in an urn because I'm not anywhere close to being ready to let my baby go. I'm sorry. I will never see her bright blue eyes or her ornery smile again. I will never be able to hear her say, "I love you, Mommy." I will never be able to do her hair again or to hold her while she sleeps. I was robbed of watching her grow up by a man that everyone was supposed to be able to trust, to do just one simple task: deliver a Christmas present and leave. Tomorrow will be the last time I get to see my baby. After tomorrow, when the silence sets in, Athena's family, including her 3 young sisters, will start the journey of all of the first without her. Her little sister's 3rd birthday, then my 27th birthday, our Christmas Eve tradition, the first time in 7 years of not hearing and seeing the excitement of Athena opening gifts from Santa and Sissy. I ask everyone to hold your littles just a little tighter for me. I want to take a moment to thank the community for the outpouring of love and support. From the moment Athena went missing, this community flew into action, and they have not stopped. I have felt your prayers, I have read your messages and your letters, and I see your pink everywhere. There are no words to express how thankful I am for the first responders, law enforcement and responding agencies, volunteers, churches, businesses, and all those I may have failed to list. I'm also grateful to the media for helping to keep Athena's story alive. I want everyone to know Athena. She was an amazing little girl who loved dancing, singing, and all animals. dogs, cats, horses, lizards, and chinchillas. She also loves school and all of her friends in the first grade who are now also struggling with her senseless murder. Athena also loved flowers, but she was also not afraid to get down in the mud with the boys. She was her father's daughter. I noted that Athena's death will not be in vain. I will spend the rest of my life fighting for her so that no other family will endure such unbearable pain and grief. That a monster attempted to take Athena's voice, but we are her voice. Screening and hiring policies must be put into place so that monsters wearing delivery uniforms don't show up on our children's doorsteps. Please help keep Athena's light shining. Thank you.
Quickly, Mom has pink hair because she's honoring her daughter. The favorite color was pink. And I just want to say our condolences to that family. I mean, the tragedy of it, it almost had me speechless. I mean, we all do it. We all order, these things for our children. We are almost as excited as they are to wait for these packages because you know how happy they're going to be on Christmas when something like this happens. Just a terrible, terrible tragedy. It really affects all of us. Let me bring back in my guests, trial attorneys Wendy Patrick and Adante Pointer. And Adante, I'll start with you. This lawsuit, what's interesting is it's a difficult time of year for these companies, right? They're all looking, the UPS, all these delivery companies, Amazon, for people to deliver. I mean, the volume is so high. You got all these folks that they're hiring for, these seasonal employees. It's tough to keep track of. What do you think about this lawsuit?
Well, I think that after listening to that heartbreaking speech of that mother, if anyone is, any of the attorneys representing FedEx or the CEO or any of those people, they should open in their checkbook and essentially hand it over, because this is any one of ours a nightmare. And for FedEx, this is the PR disaster of the company's, run, if you will, of its existence. I mean, we all as parents, as you said, we order these packages. You wait with happiness for these packages to arrive, thinking about the smile that's going to be on your kid's face, only to be robbed of not only that smile, but of their life. And this is a situation that's just tragic, tragic, tragic. I don't know if there's anything you could do to screen this out, if there was something in this employee's past that would have let them know that he would be this callous. Nevertheless, whatever they were going to have to pay for bumping her, him losing his job, she lost her life. And now he's going to pay criminally, and FedEx will have to pay civilly.
Yeah, I want to talk about that bumping part. What I want to do now is I want to read the arrest warrant and his confession, what the police say he told them. Then, Wendy, I got a question for you. The defendant says that when he was backing up his FedEx truck, he accidentally hit Athena with the truck, but she was not seriously injured. He panicked and put her in the van. The defendant stated Athena was alive at the time, talking to him, and told him her name was Athena. The defendant stated he attempted to break Athena's neck to kill her. The defendant stated when he attempted to break her neck, it did not work, so he strangled her with his bare hands in the back of the FedEx van. And he says during the course of the interview, the defendant again stated that he strangled Athena because she was going to tell her father about being hit by the FedEx truck the defendant was operating. Investigators asked the defendant if he would be willing to take them to where he put the body. The defendant stated that he would, and he directed investigators to the area where they observed the deceased body, of whom the defendant stated was Athena in the water, and in fact, it was her. Here's what I want to ask you, Wendy. It bothers me, because we all know that defendants will tell self-serving stories. This, to me, sounds like a self-serving story. Now, this is capital murder. They've charged it as capital murder. But to me, it seems like this guy's trying to give himself the best chance, because I think this was about urges, right? He sees a little girl sitting out there, and he had urges. This wasn't about hitting a little girl. What do you do when you come across, as a prosecutor, something like this? And, you can prosecute this guy, but you don't believe what he had to say.
I'll tell you, I think you and my colleague are onto what a good defense strategy always is in these types of cases. And I'm going to put myself in the equation, too. I started my career as a criminal defense attorney. You anticipate. You're already anticipating not only what the defense is going to be, but also the types of experts that are going to need to be called. Because what you're talking about, those urges, those pedophilia-type urges, is what we say in the DSM. Those kinds of urges the defense could argue are the type of thing that are mitigants. Now, certainly not a not guilty verdict, but if it's a mental defense, there are different ways in which these defenses come into play, these mental issues come into play. I have to say, the first thing I thought when I heard about this case is they're going to say the confession is not admissible. And that's, you know, that will be the very first hill that they're going to have to climb. They're going to have to look at the circumstances and all of the kinds of things that we litigate ad nauseum sometimes in cases like this, where it really does all start with a confession. And of course, leading him to the body, I mean, you can't really overcome that. But in terms of the why did he do it and whether or not as a defense attorney, that's going to be your biggest strategy. If the confession comes in, then absolutely that's going to be the type of thing you're going to work with. We don't have to believe it as the prosecutor.
Yeah, fair enough. And I want to see the autopsy report, because that's going to tell me whether, if she was hit by a truck, she's going to have injuries from being hit by a truck. And we're going to find out just how this whole thing went down. I think that's going to be the key to this whole thing.